The Live Stream Code and Rating Administration has rated this online event PG. All ages admitted. Please be kind and stay on topic.
Captain's log, stardate 2025. Dave's live stream is about to start.
The live stream has started. Let's fight tomorrow.
Good Stuff Live with Dave Sundstrom.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Classic TV Funhouse. My name's Dave Sundstrom, and I'll be hanging out with you for the next hour or so. Let's see who is in the chat right now. Hang on. Looks like we've got channel member Angela McArdle. Custom God is here as well. Gregory A. Champion. Melina Long. Michelle Books. Channel member Zooperplex. Channel member Tracy Roth Myers, Adrian James, BK on the air. Hey Barry, how's it going? Karen Lester, channel member Sean Innes. And I think that's the crew so far, at least the crew that is in the chat. So this is another episode of the Classic TV Funhouse, which is an opportunity for me to share all sorts of just a random hodgepodge of videos that I've published, some old vintage commercials, some rare things that I don't think many of you have seen before. And along the way, I think today I'm going to ask you all 5 trivia questions. 5 trivia questions. And I'll start by asking you the very first one right now for those of you that are here right at the moment. This first question is simple. Well, if you're a Golden Girls fan, it is simple. It's on the Golden Girls. Which character was known for her outlandish stories about her hometown of St. Olaf, Minnesota? Your choices are, of course, the Golden Girls. A, Blanche Devereaux. B, Dorothy Zbornak. C, Sophia Petrillo. Or D, Rose Nyland. So Blanche, Dorothea, Sophia, or Rose. Who is it? I will come back in about 10 minutes and give you the answer and give you another trivia question. But like I said, this is one of those live streams, the Classic TV Funhouse. Those live streams are ones where, my presence isn't felt as much as it is during my typical evening live streams. So, with that said, let's get rolling. Let's do, do you guys all remember that Robocop TV series from the 90s? I was a big Robocop fan and an even huger fan of a certain wrestler named Rowdy Roddy Piper. Speaking of wrestling, I think, you know what? I'm going to have a little message here for you as well. I'll do that before the Rowdy Roddy Piper Robocop video. And like I said, there'll be other stuff as well. Enough delaying. Let's get rolling. Let me take myself off the screen and get on some interesting and entertaining stuff.
Classic TV Funhouse with Dave Sundstrom.
You know, I'm sick and tired of the news. How about we all flip the channel and watch some wrestling?
If you stay in school and study hard, just like me, you can accomplish anything.
Oh my goodness, yes. Hey there, Classic TV fans. I've got a fun story from the 90s involving none other than Robocop and the legendary Rowdy Roddy Piper. Yep, I'm talking about that time when Robocop faced off against a superhero called Commander Cash, who was played by the notorious wrestler turned actor. Picture this. It's 1994 and we're halfway into the first and only season of the Robocop television series. Now, I'm not going to bore you with a recap of the entire show, but here's the gist. Robocop is around, Omni Consumer Products, better known as OCP, is up to their usual no good, and our metallic hero has to put a stop to it. In this episode, OCP's latest scheme involves marketing Commander Cash, a character meant to sell toys and other products. But is that the whole story? Not quite. You see, Robocop gets involved when kids start stealing these Commander Cash toys from stores. So the story really gets going after the heist at a mall opening event when a man not intended to be Commander Cash but someone else who has stolen the costume creates all sorts of chaos by telling the kids there that the toys are free that day. And who is this man? Well, he's none other than Rowdy Roddy Piper, rocking some peculiar yellow headgear and powder blue spandex. As Robocop tries to unravel the mystery behind fake Commander Cash, we discover that all sorts of products, including a sugar cereal called Super Flakes, are being sold with the goal of controlling the minds of the kids in Detroit. And after a couple of battles with Piper, Commander Cash, Robocop finally learns the tragic story of the man behind the mask, a noble and well-meaning inventor / cartoonist named Tex Jones. Ultimately, Robocop and Piper's character team up to stop the evil OCP villain, who is actually finally taken down for the count by another super character, a superheroine of sorts. I'm not going to say anything more than that, but I was pleased with the way that the episode wrapped things up. All in all, I know it sounds super corny, and it is, but it's also a ton of fun. And there's a sly nod to John Carpenter's 1988 film, They Live, which also starred Rowdy Roddy Piper as well. You see, the way that the mind control messages are sent to the children here in this episode is similar to They Live in that it's done through special glasses. The Robocop movie series at its very best was a satirical comedy on corporate greed, and this episode doesn't shy away from those themes. The way that it tackles them isn't very sophisticated, but it's goofy fun that, believe it or not, still holds up even today.
Oh, we are the Freakies, and this is our Freaky Stream. We never miss a meal, cause we love our cereals. This is the big boss, we call the boss. Make sure you spell it right.
Snorkeled what they call me, so handsome and pretty.
He's little Hambos.
He's got a weird nose.
Do I really have to sing?
My name is Grumble.
I am Kamumble.
You're standing on my foot.
Cargo is his name.
Small, this is my game. I know more than you do.
Says you.
And don't forget me, I'm goody-goody. I always do what's right. For instance, I eat Freaky cereal because it's got a lot of vitamins and it's good for me.
You too can have crunchy, freaky cereal as part of your good breakfast. And there's a free Freaky in specially marked boxes.
Okay, here comes the big finish. We are the Freakies. We are the Freakies. This is the Freaky Stream.
Freakies?
Freakies, yeah. Exactly. I remember the Freakies well for a short time span that they were available, at least in the cereal world. I noticed the commercials marked for 1974 there at the end for the copyright, but the Freakies actually started in 1972, and they were producing that cereal all the way up until 1976 when they discontinued it. And in cereal time, that's very short span, but I do remember it well. And they even had the little Freakies, the little creatures, little refrigerator magnets, and they all look just like them. And I had those, and I was just into the Freakies for some reason. I think it's because maybe I was a little freaky myself, and I can identify with them growing up, being the nerd, geek, oddball, and the way they were. And let's go through their names. You had Boss Moss, Snorkeldorf, Ham Hose, Grumble, the one with the little look like the frog with two legs, Cow Mumble, Gargle, and Goody Goody. That was all the Freakies' names there as they went through them. And Freakies, they pop up a lot now. They were used in I think Tom Hanks. There's a scene in The Burbs with Tom Hanks, and one of them is on the couch eating a box of Freakies when The Burbs came out, the Joe Dante movie. And in the post-credit sequence of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Chris Pratt as Star-Lord at the end in that post-credit sequence, he's wearing a Freakies t-shirt, believe it or not, in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So I liked Freakies. I mean, it reminded me of if you took maybe a little Captain Crunch without the crunch berries and mixed it with corn pops and one little nugget or whatever. And they were like the golden color Freakies. They didn't have the shapes of the monsters or anything. They were just little nuggets of cereal. And I just liked them. It was a cereal that didn't last long, but it's one of my favorites.
Today we're talking to the original Share the Ride with a Friend man. You, sir, are Noah of Noah's Ark fame.
That's right. I had all my friends of the animal kingdom get together and share the ride.
Did you call it carpooling way back then?
No, we did not have that word. We called it kalaka.
Double up every morning, double up going home at night, double up every day, it's a better way, you're gonna have more fun together. Each driving alone.
Okay, I admit it. I was completely wrong about this television show. What show am I talking about? Well, give me a moment and I'll get to that. But I've got to say, this was a show that I thought was just a quick cash grab by CBS, trying to take advantage of the goodwill that had been established by a show during the mid-'80s. I am, of course, talking about Matlock, which starred Andy Griffith. This new show is a reimagining that has many of the same elements, but is a very, very different show, and Kathy Bates is absolutely phenomenal. The new Matlock, it's really darn good.
Turn it on, leave it on. America, see the music you want to see.
I want my MTV. All right.
I want my MTV.
I want my MTV. Yeah, too much is never enough.
Growing up, I thought John Ritter was one of the funniest guys on TV. Even though the son of legendary Tex Ritter had been making guest appearances on shows like MASH and The Waltons for a while, it was on Three's Company where I really took notice of his innate talent to be funny, all while still seeming like a run-of-the-mill, everyday, normal, average Joe. You know, the kind of guy that everyone knows. You could see a little bit of you in him, and that made him instantly relatable. At one point, Ritter's Three's Company co-star Don Knotts called him the greatest physical comedian on the planet, and I would have to agree. John managed to fall, tumble, and bang his way into anything to get a laugh. For me, though, it was John's ability to garner a smile instead of a laugh that made him so darn endearing. John's final television series was 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Daughter. It was on the set of that series that he experienced chest pain that was initially misdiagnosed as a heart attack. What Ritter actually had was a tear in his aorta, and once the correct diagnosis was made, doctors rushed him in for emergency surgery, which he unfortunately did not survive.
Ritter's sudden death was blamed on a heart condition that is hard to detect, but not as rare as you might think. CBS News medical correspondent Elizabeth Caledon is here with more about it. Elizabeth?
Well, Dan, John Ritter died of something known as aortic dissection, in which the aorta suddenly tears or breaks, causing massive internal bleeding, which can lead to heart attack or stroke. What makes this condition so deadly is it's tough to diagnose and there's very little time to react. The symptoms are chest pain and sometimes back pain, so it's often mistaken for heart attack, even food poisoning.
After John's death, a new set of life-saving reminders became known as the Ritter Rules. They were designed to recognize, treat, and prevent the dangers that come along with these large artery tears that can be so deadly. John once said something like, "I've never considered myself to be a TV star. I'm just the luckiest guy in the world." I would argue, in fact, that we are actually the lucky ones. For decades, we had the pleasure of inviting the warm and funny John Ritter into our homes on a weekly basis. And in him we saw ourselves, albeit a much funnier version of us. And in the end, he made us feel better about the world in which we live. And for that, I will forever be grateful. Indeed, I will. In just a second, I'm going to play a song that I wrote about John Ritter. But first, But first, we have a trivia question, which was on the Golden Girls. Which character was known for her outlandish stories about her hometown of St. Olaf, Minnesota? Your choices were A, Blanche, B, Dorothy, C, Sophia, or D, Rose. And I think a lot of you correctly guessed that the answer is D, Rose. All right, so trivia question number 2. What was the name of Sonny Crockett's pet alligator in the stylish crime drama Miami Vice? Was it A, Elvis, B, Brutus, C, Fang, or D, Rex? In just a few minutes, I'll come back with the correct answer, but now, as promised, a song about John Ritter and a whole lot more.
You showed up on TV and you charmed us all. You were such a nut, together we had a ball. But now you're absent and we wonder why. You made us laugh until we cried. Oh, you left us far too early, but your light will never die. In our hearts, you'll live forever. You made us laugh until we cried. But you're never far. Your spirit lingers, you're our shining star. We can't forget you, we won't say goodbye. You're in the laugh track of all of our lives. Every Tuesday night, you would make our trouble seem light. That's why we hated to say goodbye to you, dear John. You brightened all our lives. Oh, you left us far too early, but your light will never die. In our hearts, you live forever. You made us laugh until we cried. Us far too early, but your light will never die. In our hearts, you live forever. You made us laugh until we cried.
this message.
You can feel us coming now, a fresh look on the scene, with a whole new style of living, light and crisp and clean. That's why now we say the age of 7-Up is here, because we love that crisp, refreshing taste, so light and crystal clear. Move it up, look it up.
Hey, Dave Tucker's turning 7-Up.
America is turning 7-Up. Reach it up, feel it up.
Mike Schmidt's turning 7-Up.
America is turning 7-Up.
My car's a 10, and I keep her that way. I protect her looks with Son of a Gun.
Keep a good thing going. Son of a Gun.
STP Son of a Gun helps protect your vinyl and rubber against everyday wear and tear. Son of a Gun, the penetrating protector that penetrates vinyl pores and openings and leaves a lustrous protective coating.
When you got a 10, you've got a protector.
Keep a good thing going. Son of a Gun.
Saturday, movie making turns into a deadly business when Morgan tries the toughest stunt of all.
All right, Morgan, bring it in.
240 Roberts. And on the Love Boat.
Care to dance, Twinkle Toes?
There's a new woman in Doc's life, but she's got her eye on somebody else.
Let's check the scoreboard and see how Coleco's head-to-head electronic baseball stacks up against the competition. Sure, some games have base stealing and pitch selection. But for real two-player action, only head-to-head baseball has computed batting averages for each player, hitting for average or for extra power, 16 pitching variations, including a pitch-out, extra inning scoring, and more. It's no contest. Get head-to-head electronic baseball by Coleco, now that you know the score.
Take a good look, America. You're getting something new this fall.
Give it to him, girl.
Beautiful women in a great new comedy. What women talk about behind the doors. It's a living. New friends and new comedy this fall for you and me.
Love that show. A little bit of trivia. It's a Living changed its name, I think, during the second or third season to Making a Living. Then I think it went back to It's a Living once it went off ABC and became a syndicated first-run program. All right, trivia time. Let's get the answer to question number 2, which was, what was the name of Sonny Crockett's pet alligator in the stylish crime drama Miami Vice? Your choices were A, Elvis, B, Brutus, C, Fang, or D, Rex. The correct answer is A, Elvis. All right, this question is for Angela McArdle. I think she is at least the nation's #1 A-Team fan. This question is, in the action-adventure series, the A-Team, what was the signature color scheme of their iconic van? So your choices are A, blue with a white stripe, B, black with a red stripe, C, all black, or D, green and brown camouflage. All right, I will be back in just a little bit to give the answer to that question and, throw out some more questions. But first, let's do this. Let's do a little Welcome Back, Kotter. What do you say? Welcome Back, Kotter. One of my favorite shows that I didn't initially get to watch. I don't think I explained that in this video. Maybe I do. We'll find out. Can't remember. All right, enough rambling. Bring on Gabe Kaplan. Whether she wanted it or not, Marcia Strassman was Julie Cotter. She played that role to perfection on the classic ABC TV sitcom Welcome Back, Kotter, even when she wasn't all that pleased about what the scriptwriters were having her say and do. As time rolled on and the cast and creative team prepared for what would be the show's 4th season, Marcia became even more vocal about her dissatisfaction with the show. In fact, in a 1978 article in People magazine, Strassman talked about her difficulties working with Kaplan, who she said she just couldn't seem to connect with. He was either hot or cold, and she never knew which Gabe she would be working with that day. In the article, Strassman says that she'd like to see the series come to an end, and apparently viewers felt the same way. The show's ratings tanked, and in 1979, ABC decided to pull the plug. Of course, this wasn't the end of Ms. Strassman's career. She continued to find work in both television and movies. I particularly loved her in the 1989 Disney movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Anything with Rick Moranis is alright with me. And around the same time, Strassman had a recurring role in the 21 Jump Street spin-off Booker. I think she was the best part of that show, which starred Richard Grieco and aired for a single season on Fox. After that, there were lots of other roles, especially on TV. But the best part of this story, at least for me, is that long after the cancellation of Welcome Back, Kotter, Strassman and Kaplan, well, they finally connected. They reminisced about their turbulent times on the show, and they discovered that series producer James Comack was separately telling these two actors that they didn't like each other. The truth of the matter is that there actually had been a feud. They actually had not gotten along all that well while on the set of Welcome Back, Kotter. But you know what? These incredibly wonderful, talented people managed to forgive each other and move forward with a friendship that would continue for the rest of their lives. In March 2007, Strassman was diagnosed with advanced breast cancer. She talks about that experience in her book, Life with a Side Order of Cancer. And in that book, she steps outside of her own world and offers up advice to others who might be suffering in a similar way. Sadly, along with the breast cancer diagnosis came the realization that it had also spread to her bones. This horrific news did not stop Marcia, however, from celebrating with most of the Welcome Back, Kotter cast during the 2011 TV Land Awards, where the show was recognized as a television sitcom that made a lasting impact on a generation of viewers. I think Marcia looks great in this photo. Her smile clearly demonstrates that she was able to shake off the stress and worries of her health for at least one evening. In 2014, Marcia passed away due to complications from the disease at her home in Sherman Oaks, California, surrounded by those who loved her. She was 66 years old. All right, one final pick of Strassman is Julie Kotter. Yep, she had a lot of roles, and this one may not have been her favorite, but it was mine, and this is how I like to remember her. Are you tired of paying way too much to stream live television? Well, my friends, let me introduce you to Frndly TV, where you can stream over 50 live TV channels each month for less than the cost of a fast food combo meal. And yes, that price also includes an unlimited cloud-based DVR, and you know what that means. You got it. You can skip through all the commercials. But that isn't even the best thing about Frndly TV. The thing that I love so much is that many of the channels allow you to relive your favorite childhood memories with classic TV shows from decades gone by. I'm talking about great shows like Andy Griffith, Leave It to Beaver, Batman, and Star Trek. Yep, the good stuff is on Frndly TV.
Classic TV Funhouse with Dave Sundstrom.
All right, we're back. And do I have an answer for you? Indeed, I do. All right, this was our third of 5 trivia questions. On the A team, what was the signature color scheme of the gang's iconic van? Was it A, blue with a white stripe, B, black with a red stripe, C, just all black, or D, green and brown camouflage? Your correct answer is B, black with a red stripe. All right. As we get closer to the end of the Playhouse today, I'll ask everybody to share their scores when we're done with all 5 trivia questions. But let's move on to number 4. On Magnum P.I., what were the names of Higgins' 2 lads? His beloved Doberman Pinschers. Was it A, Zeus and Apollo, B, Castor and Pollux, C, Romulus and Remus, or D, Samson and Goliath? I'll be back in a little bit to share the answer to that question. But first, let's do some vintage TV commercials, and then let's go back in time and have Andy Griffith share with us his final interaction with Francis Bavier. All right, where are those commercials? There they are.
Saturday, an NBC movie premiere. Jimmy the Kid, starring Dee Wallace, Pat Morita, Ruth Gordon, Don Adams, and Gary Coleman is Jimmy the Kid. Then on Hunter.
1, this is a cop killing. 2, 3.
Who will lose Saturday?
I am Chevrolet Camaro IROC Z. I am Honda Elite 150 Deluxe. I am more and more, and I am yours to win. I am here wherever they serve or sell Coke or caffeine-free Coke. I am yours to win.
Steven Spielberg presents The Goonies, a Richard Donner film.
Start of the tunnel. I don't want to go on any more of your crazy Goonies adventures.
They've stumbled onto a legend,
And they got chocolate eruption.
but they're not alone.
That's coming up.
The Goonies, rated PG. Special advance preview Saturday, June 1st.
There's a style in the things you do. You're one of a kind.
Montrose beer is just like you. It's one of a kind. It's got a taste so big and true. The great flavor comes bursting through. Montrose beer is just like you. It's one of a kind.
Now taste Diet Mug with 100% NutraSweet. It's saccharin-free and one of a kind.
You got the love. You got the love. You got the love.
They want to know better.
You got the love.
That's all together. Working, playing, day or night. The look that's right. You've got the look.
You got the love.
The Jordache look.
You got the love.
Do you remember the last time you talked to Aunt Bee?
I talked to her?
Yes.
Yes.
Was she very sick?
Yes. I hadn't talked to her in a long time. I went to see her and unannounced, and she flew all over me because I had come unannounced. So Lee Greenway was the makeup man on that show, and Lee Greenway was able to get Frances on the stage because she wasn't always in real great shape emotionally. And so Lee called me and said, Frances wants to talk to you. So I called her up. Hi, Frances. Oh, Andy, she said, I must be made of cast iron. I've had a heart attack. Now I have cancer. I'm only now just starting to die. And she said, I said, well, Frances, she said, no, you can't do anything for me. She said, I'm sorry we didn't get along better. She said it was my fault, and she said I just wish we had. And you ran the show, and you made the show a success, and I'm just sorry we didn't get along better. We got along fine. It's just that she didn't feel like it a lot of times.
She was really typed as Aunt Bee.
Yeah. So she called. She wanted to talk to me to say goodbye. That's some experience.
So you knew this was the last time you'd be talking to her?
Yes. Yeah.
The grown-ups of Hilldale. Why do they tremble? Why are they nervous? What are they all afraid of?
Hi, Mr. Welcome.
Dennis!
Dennis!
The Menace. Dun, dun, dun. He's no ordinary kid.
Look at the way his hair sticks up and back.
He's the scariest thing to happen to grown-ups since shaving. Dennis. Dun, dun, dun. The Menace. Dun-dun. Weekdays at 6, 5 Central on Nickelodeon.
Oh boy, Jay North sure has some stories to tell from his time on that show. In just a minute, we're going to talk a little bit about Leave It to Beaver. I've got a Leave It to Beaver song for you. Oh, more appropriately, an Eddie Haskell song. But let's answer the trivia question, which was number 4 on Magnum PI. What were the name of Higgins' 2 Doberman Pinschers? Your choices were A, Zeus and Apollo, B, Castor and Pollux, C, Romulus and Remus, and D, Samson and Goliath. Correct answer is A, Zeus and Apollo. So we've got one more question. Let's do, I've got a few here. Let's do a MASH question, which is the immensely popular final episode of MASH, which aired in 1983, for those who remember, was titled A, War is Over, B, Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen, I should say, C, Until We Meet Again, or D, The Last Stand. And I will be back in just a little bit to give you the answer to question number 5. And we'll get some final scores at that point as well. But as promised, let's do some Leave It to Beaver. Let's start with a little video about poor Jerry Mathers. And, you know, you just shouldn't eat worms. I was looking through some old copies of the National Enquirer the other day, and I came across an article that, while kind of crazy, felt like it might be true. The title of the article was Leave It to Beaver Star Battles Death, and the picture of Jerry Mathers that was on the cover really did look like he was at death's door, so I decided to do a bit of research, and here's what I found out. Back in April of 2001, NBC decided to have a little bit of fun with its Thursday night rival over on CBS, Survivor. The network's attitude was, if you can't beat them, make fun of them. So The Tonight Show with Jay Leno came up with their own version. Instead of regular folks, they got stars from 70s and 80s classic TV to compete. And instead of $1 million prize, well, the winner got bragging rights. Yeah, that's it. Just bragging rights. So getting to Jerry's scary moment. During a challenge, Jerry was asked to help his team by eating a live worm. Now, that team had Florence Henderson, Charlene Tilton, and Adam Rich, and he didn't want to let them down. So, while not exactly gourmet dining, you know, Jerry thought it was all good fun. At least that's what, I think everyone thought that. So we went for it and swallowed that worm whole, because that's what you do when you're on TV and you've got Jay Leno egging you on. So anyway, after the show, Jerry started to get really sick, and it turns out that that little worm gave him a stomach infection. And I'm not talking about just a little old tummy ache. This one was serious. According to that article in the National Enquirer, Jerry suffered from rectal bleeding, abdominal pain, and, well, let's just say he had some big-time diarrhea. The infection was so bad that he lost 15 pounds and was stuck dealing with the aftermath for weeks. There are various other accounts out there about how serious it was. I can't tell if Jerry actually ended up in a hospital fighting for his life or if that part is an urban myth. However, I can assure you that he truly regretted eating that live worm on TV for laughs. You know, this whole worm eating thing got me thinking about that classic young adult novel, How to Eat Fried Worms. You remember that one, right? It's about a kid who has to eat a whole bunch of worms over the course of a couple of weeks to win a bet. But in that story, just as the title indicates, the worms are fried. They're cooked up in a pan with all kinds of tasty toppings. And you know what? The kid survives just fine. No infections, no hospital visits, no drama. So maybe Jerry's problem wasn't the worm itself. It was the fact that it was raw. If only Jay Leno had handed him a fried worm with a side of ketchup, things might have turned out a little bit differently.
such a pleasant smile. Eddie always said, yes sir, yes ma'am. He was such a perfect child. But behind those eyes he hid the truth so very, very well. Eddie was sweet on the outside, but inside he was raising hell. Now he's buried in chains and leather. He's Alice on stage, the master of chaos. He channels his inner rage. It's such a shocking change. It's really quite a sight. From Haskell to Cooper, he's gonna rock all through the night. See him on the screen, the lad was so polite, but behind their backs, Eddie was quite the sight. Rock and roll is where young Eddie came alive, traded innocence for mayhem, rocking black and white. Now he's wearing chains and leather. He's Alice on stage, the master of chaos. He channels his inner rage. It's such a shocking change. It's really quite a sight. From Haskell to Cooper, he's gonna rock all through the night. Behind the perfect mask, rebellion grew and grew. Finally, after all the lies, the one now sees the truth. He's wearing chains and leather. He's Alice on stage, the master of chaos. He channels his inner rage. It's such a shocking change. It's really quite a sight. From Haskell to Cooper, he's gonna rock all through the night. He's wearing chains and leather. He's Alice on stage, the master of chaos. He channels his inner rage. It's such a shocking change. It's really quite a sight. From Haskell to Cooper, he's gonna rock all through the night. From Haskell to Cooper, he's gonna rock all through the night. From Haskell to Cooper, he's gonna rock all through the night.
Jordache has the fit that's right. The Jordache look. The Jordache look.
There really is a Kentucky Fried Chicken school.
Yep, today we're making the Colonel's original recipe.
What have you learned?
Fresh chicken makes the best chicken.
And that we use 11 herbs and spices.
Oh, but that's the Colonel's secret. And special pressure cooking.
So it's always tender and juicy.
Looks like you've learned to make great chicken.
Only way to serve our customers right.
It's so nice to live, so good about a meal, so good about Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Honey, you're going to be just beautiful tomorrow.
A Coke and a smile
Okay, everybody, let's get this rehearsal going.
makes me feel good. That's the way it should be. And I'd like to see the whole world smiling with me. Have a Coke and a smile.
Has Wayne Newton split with his wife and hit the jackpot with his new romance? Inquiring minds want to know.
I want to know.
Can you lose weight by switching from celery to sweets? This week's National Enquirer tells you. How can you put office troublemakers in their place? What curse of death and disaster haunts the Super Bowl?
It's in the Enquirer.
What bizarre surprises popped up on Caroline's wacky honeymoon? Find out in the Enquirer. Over 100 features for people with inquiring minds.
Like me.
One Day at a Time has moved. The craziest cast of characters in some of their zaniest adventures ever. Now come to you in the morning at a brand new time. Anything goes, and it usually does. So be sure to watch us, because it all happens one day at a time. Now at 10 Eastern, 9 Central and Pacific.
This is CBS.
All right. Let's answer that final trivia question. The immensely popular final episode of MASH, which aired in 1983, was titled A, The War is Over, B, Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen, C, until we meet again, or D, the last stand. Correct answer is B, goodbye, farewell, and amen. I'm going to play a little brief thing on, you remember That Girl? Starred Marlo Thomas, and I always loved that theme song, but they got the lyrics wrong, and TV Land a few years back, a couple decades back now, actually redid the lyrics and corrected them. So here's that version of the That Girl theme song. And in the meantime, while we're listening to this, go ahead and put your final score in the chat.
Dig those smart sunglasses, that girl. Solid striped sunglasses. She's that girl. Each day's a different pair. That girl with those sunglasses in her hair. Sunglasses. Plus those long, lush, false eyelashes. That girl, she's not afraid to face the jury. I'll bet if she had her way, it'd be sunny every day. That girl on TV Land. That girl.
Okay. Yeah, those lyrics are much better. Custom God got 3 of 5. Channel member Angela McArdle, 5 of 5. Channel member Superplex, 4 of 5. Michelle Books, 5 of 5. Gregory A. Champion, 4 of 5. Claude Sailing, 2 of 5. And Mr. J.E. Sanchez got a 0 of 5. Well, hopefully you had fun, even if you missed them all. Channel member Sean Innes got 1 of 5. Terrell Eugene Bellinger got 5 of 5. And channel member Tracy Rothmeyers got 3 of 5. Hey, Chris, good to have you here. We're kind of wrapping things up. We've got another 10 minutes or so. But we did a little trivia throughout the Classic TV Funhouse today. And, yeah. So let me go ahead and take that off the screen. Karen Lester got 3 of 5 as well. Great job, everybody. I saw a couple milestone messages. Let's put those on the screen. First off, from channel member Angela McArdle, who's been a member for 26 months. Holy cow, my, how time flies. Happy 4th of July, they say, she says. And I say it right back. Hope it's a great holiday weekend for you all. And channel member Sean Innes, a member for 31 months, almost 3 years at this point. You count the time on Patreon. Yeah, we're at 3 years. Says, I saw Lance beat to it again. Not sure what the reference is there. I'd have to go back and read the chat, I'm sure. But thanks for all your support, Sean and Angela. Appreciate your continued support over these past few years. See if there's any final scores. I think we got everybody's scores. So I'm going to play some more stuff, some more commercials, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And yeah, I hope everybody has a great 4th of July weekend. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. You are all great. And remember, this is important. During the holiday weekend, it's important not to be a clown, right? Because no clowns allowed.
No clowns allowed.
Cartoons are just so violent these days. Batman and Robin are always punching people in the face. It's disgusting.
Ace Hardware presents Suzanne Summers.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man. He knows you need to fix things, he shows you how you can. His price is right on everything, and he's got your favorite brand. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man. He's so helpful, yeah. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man.
Olympic gold medal winner Bruce Jenner makes action look easy.
I'm Christy Jenner, and my Minolta XG 35mm reflex camera makes it easy to catch Bruce in action. One touch on this electronic button, and Minolta XG electronics take over to give me great pictures automatically. I just focus and shoot.
And when the action speeds up, the optional auto winder even makes it easier to get those quick shots. The Minolta XG, the automatic choice for action photography.
Tuesday on Happy Days.
This is Incredible Wax.
Chachi's miracle dunk puts Fonzie on the hot seat. Then it's spy versus spy when Laverne and Shirley try and catch a thief to learn the naked truth. And Jack moves in with another man's woman. So Chrissy and Janet spring a new surprise.
Big Hollywood picture.
Then the cabbies get a starring role when a director takes them for a ride on Taxi.
Tomorrow, starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain on ABC.
Ella Fitzgerald is listening to Chuck Mangione while we're recording him on Memorex with MRX3 Oxide. Now Ella's going to listen again, but can she tell if it's Chuck live or the Memorex recording we just made? Reproduction so true, we can ask, is it live or is it Memorex?
Veteran actor Gavin MacLeod, whose health had been declining over the past few months, passed away at the age of 90 during the early hours of Saturday, May 29th, 2021. It's hard to believe that the TV show that Gavin was most well known for debuted on television over 40 years ago. The show that I'm talking about, of course, was The Love Boat. It aired on ABC from 1977 until 1986 and detailed the romantic and comedic adventures of the passengers and crew aboard the cruise ship Pacific Princess. The series was famous for having oodles of celebrity guest stars, including Barbie Benton, Vincent Price, Debbie Reynolds, Michael J. Fox, Tom Hanks, Janet Jackson, and of course, Charo. Love Boat, along with Fantasy Island, was part of my steady diet growing up on Saturday evenings. The show was so good, not just because of the great guest stars, but because of the show's wonderful cast. I had my favorites, Lauren Tweez and Fred Grandy as Gopher, but it is entirely possible that my favorite character of all was good old Captain Steubing. For those that only know MacLeod for his role as Captain Steubing, the reality is that he had been a fixture on American television for years, first in the Ernest Borgnine comedy McHale's Navy, and then later on as Murray Slaughter on The Mary Tyler Moore Show. That said, whenever MacLeod visited with fans or was interviewed by a journalist, there was just one program that they wanted to talk about. Yep, The Love Boat. And Gavin, quite frankly, loved talking about the show as well. One of the more recent opportunities was when he officiated the world's largest renewal of vows at sea. One of those Guinness Book of World Records kind of things, and because of that, during an interview with Fox News, they asked him to share his thoughts on life and love. They wanted to know his secret. Being a very spiritual man, Gavin said that he realized that love is between three people. It's you, your partner, and God. He went on to say that love triangle is the most solidifying thing in the world. It's a love that never fails. I have to believe that Gavin's strong faith helped him and his family during his final hours. I truly hope it provided them all with a sense of peace. Just a couple of months ago, Gavin, along with the rest of the original Love Boat crew, reunited once again to promote the Not-for-Profit Actors Fund and its services. How cool is it that Gavin was able to connect with his old colleagues from the Love Boat one more time prior to his passing? That video is right here on YouTube. Just search for Love Boat Cast Reunion and you'll find it. Here's a tweet from Gavin's self-proclaimed partner in crime, Ed Asner, who, commenting directly to Gavin, says that he'll see him in a bit, and then warns Betty White that it's just the two of them now. I love that Ed felt comfortable enough to inject a little bit of levity into the moment, because Gavin's life was a life well lived, and it is one we're celebrating with both tears and a chuckle or two. You know, whenever I think about classic TV, I immediately think about the Frndly TV streaming service that has over 50 channels, many of them showcasing classic television shows from decades gone by for a crazy low price. You can try the service free for 7 days by clicking on the link in the description section, and when you do, you're supporting this channel. Thanks.
We've got things you can be sure of, like a holiday parade. Boosters growing, children growing, and the taste of Minute Maid. You're sure of homemade pies, lullabies, picnics under sunny skies, and the taste of Minute Maid.
The great taste of 100% pure Minute Maid orange juice is never going to change, and that you can be sure of.
Make sure of the taste, make sure of the taste, make it Minute Maid.
You owe me $95,000 and I want it now.
But what about me and my 4 children?
I'm going to have to sell the cattle ranch.
How much?
$200,000.
Oh.
I've got to pay my father-in-law $10,000.
Oh, why not buy insurance? Decisions. Oh, pay me. Lawyer's salary, please.
Okay. There's a game called Life that's really worth living. You and your family have got to play it. The Game of Life from Milton Bradley.
Wow, Jesse, what's that? It's a Grandma's big chocolate chip cookie. It sure is bigger than mine. Oh, and it tastes so good and soft and chewy and chocolate chippy. But our house, we all just love them. Sure looks good. Oh, it is. That's why I saved one for you. Thanks, Jesse. Kids gotta learn to think big.
Grandma's brand, big cookies.
They're simply scrumptious.
It's the premiere of Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell Sisters.
I'm gonna be the sex symbol.
They're the sweethearts of Saturday night with guest Kenny Rogers. Then The Secret War of Jackie's Girls. They were pilots by day and women by night. Marriott Hartley and Ben Murphy star in a TV premiere. Barbara Mandrell, then Jackie's Girls, Saturday.
Posing for Olympus, professional model Cheryl Teagues. 5 amateur photographers behind the Olympus OM10 for the first time. OM10, the 35mm automatic that leaves nothing to chance, leaves you free to focus and shoot. And look, the actual pictures these 5 amateurs took. All 100 of them taken with the Olympus OM10.
They're incredible.
Well, you can't take a bad picture, Cheryl.
Neither can you with Olympus OM10.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. Thank you very, very, very much.
You are special.
Click on that thumbnail cause it's time to go. Dave's got the classics, let the memories flow. TV shows and movies that we all hold so dear. On his YouTube channel he's keeping memories near. Dave Sundstrom, bringing back the good stuff, oh yeah.